need to read a book. Talk to some of those workers who've been laid off. Talk to those retirees who are having to figure out how to pay for the heating bill. You know, John McCain used to oppose the Bush tax cuts. He said it was irresponsible to cut taxes for the wealthy when we were going into war. And then he started running for president. Suddenly he's for. I'm happy to have that debate because he was right the first time and he is wrong now. And we are going to convince the American people. I'm happy to have a debate with John McCain about fiscal responsibility. He goes out there and complains about earmarks. But it was his party, the Republican Party, under George Bush and the Republican Congress that presided on the biggest increase in poor girl spending that America has ever seen, and that is what we're going to change when I'm president. And when it comes to foreign policy, John McCain says he wants to fight a 100-year war. Years, he said, as long as it takes. That is not designed to make us safe. That is simply stubbornness. That is designed to try to make a bad decision look better. And by the way, it is going to be a lot easier for me to have that debate with John McCain and Senator Clinton because she supported the war. So, John McCain won't be able to say that I supported the war in Iraq because I did. He won't be able to say that I gave George Bush the benefit of the doubt when he was beating the war up against Iran because I haven't given him support on that, the way Senator Clinton did. We can offer a clear contrast on foreign policy in this next election and move us in a new direction. That's what I wanted to tell you. Last argument. This is the most interesting one. Senator Clinton lately has been saying, yeah, okay, he gives a nice speech, but he's a talker, not a doer. He's peddling false hopes. He needs a reality check. He's not realistic enough. He's not sufficiently cynical about how politics works. You need somebody who's been around the track, who knows how the game is played. You know, it is true that I talk about hope a lot. Because the odds of me standing here are very slim indeed. I was born to a teenage mom. My father left when I was 2 years old. I was raised by that single mother and my grandparents. And they didn't have money, they didn't have fame, they gave me love and education and some hope. I put hope on my signs. I saw a couple of hope signs there. I gave a speech in Boston in 2004 at the convention about hope. I wrote a book called The Audacity of Hope. So now, this argument that Senator Clinton's making essentially is, he's so naive. He's so idealistic. His head's in the clouds. He's a dreamer. He's just going to sit back and not fight, not struggle, do the hard, detailed work of bringing about change. The implication is that somehow you're almost passive if you're hopeful. But you know, that's not what hope is, being passive. Hope is not blind optimism. Hope is not ignoring the hurdles and the challenges that stand between you and your dreams. Hope is just the opposite. I know how hard it is going to be to provide health care to every American. The insurance and drug companies aren't going to give up their profits easily. I know how hard it will be to craft an intelligent energy policy. ExxonMobil made $11 billion last quarter. It's working pretty well for them. I know it won't be easy to reduce poverty. or bring manufacturing jobs back, or improve our schools. I know because I have fought on the streets as a community organizer with those steel workers trying to find them work. I have fought in the courts on behalf of those who've been denied opportunities. I have fought in the legislature, and I've won some battles, but I've lost some too. I've seen how good intentions aren't always enough, if not fortified with political will and political power. I've seen how this country's judgment can be clouded by fear. How a tragedy like 9/11 can be used to scare up votes instead of bringing the country together. How politicians define us, make us afraid of immigrants, afraid of gay people, afraid to go to war like us. Change is. I've been at it for 20 years. But I also know this, that nothing worthwhile in this country has ever happened, except somebody somewhere was willing to hold. That's how this country was founded. By a group of patriots declaring independence against the mighty British Empire. Nobody gave them a chance. That's how slaves and abolitionists were able to resist the wicked system, how a new president from Illinois was able to chart a new course to ensure we would not remain as slaves and as free. That's how the greatest generation, my grandfather fighting in Patton's army in World War II. My grandmother staying behind with a baby, working on a bomber assembly line. That's how that generation defeated Hitler and fascism and lifted itself up out of the Great Depression. That's how pioneers traveled and populated the West. That's how immigrants came from distant shores. That's how women won the right to vote. That's how workers won the right to organize. That's how young people traveled south to march and fit in and some were beaten and some went to jail and some died for freedom's cause. That's what hope is. That is hope. Imagining and then fighting for, then struggling for what didn't seem possible before. So I